You are putting the maximum time and effort in studying, solving, and revising physics out of physics, chemistry, and bio in your NEET preparation. But your marks aren't hitting that great, right? Then you have clicked on the right video. Hello everyone, I am THRUPTHI G M, studying second year MBBS at PMCRI, Bangalore. In this video, I'll be telling you some very critical points that will surely boost your physics marks. Point number 1, follow the latest NCERT. Give importance to every word in a question, especially a conceptual one. This was the mistake which I did, and this led me to score 175 instead of 180 in my paper. You know the concept, you know how to solve it, but still you got it wrong. After seeing the key, you convince yourself and just ignore it, making an excuse that it was a silly mistake. This is the greatest mistake, and let's get on to point number 2, that stop making excuses that it was a silly mistake. If you don't know where you are going wrong, then how can you actually correct it? It's impossible. So let me tell you how you can avoid silly mistake in these 7 points. These are the checkpoints I would say you must surpass to get a question right. Concentrate to the maximum for 100%. Read each and every word given in the question thoroughly and correctly note down the data given without any mistake. Read the last part of the question. The energy stored in the capacitor C2 is. So they are asking energy, and this is the formula that we would be using to solve the question. It is asked for the capacitor C2. That also matters. Read the question in parts and draw the diagram for it simultaneously. A 10 microjoule energy is stored in a parallel plate capacitor C1. An identical uncharged capacitor C2 is connected to it, kept in contact with it for a while and then disconnected. Because they say it is identical, the capacitance of both the capacitors are equal. And then the energy is asked. So we find the common potential, which comes out to be V by 2. As C is constant, here in this case energy is directly proportional to V square. The new energy comes out to be 1/4 the initial energy, which is 2.5. Do not use calculator while practicing questions because this would hamper your speed of solving in the real exam. Make sure the units that you obtained while solving and the units present in the option are exactly the same. And then bubbling is one most commonly made mistake because you are tested whether you check the question number properly and also the correct option for it and bubble it properly, which is very important. Finally, last but not the least, make sure you remove the word silly from your dictionary. Do not even use the word while conversing with others. All of us definitely have better short-term memory than long-term memory, right? How about revising the whole topics allotted for a given exam just the day before and giving the exam? It would be great, right? Our marks would really be very good. How can you do this? Let me tell you the third point, that is content compression. Your main aim while reading should be that you must require less time for reading the same stuff in the second time. How can you do this? For example, you can use active recall method. This, which I would suggest, would be most helpful. When you read for the first time, try to grasp maximum amount of content that you can. Jot them the points which you can't understand or which you feel difficult in a separate page or something. During the second time, try recalling what all you know and then go back to the textbook or the material which you are referring to See which you can remember and which you don't. Concentrate more on the things that you don't know rather than studying the same stuff which you know properly again and again. This is not going to help you. If you learn what you don't know, then surely your confidence will increase. Other methods which you can use are you can highlight with a different color each time when you revise. For example, in the first go, if you're highlighting in a pink color, then in the second time use green color and third time a different color. This would help you differentiate which are more important and which are less one, and you can easily assess yourself. The materials that I used for physics, these are mainly five in number. First one is my own made notes. The formula sheet that I made came very handy in revision. Like I made formula sheet for each and every chapter which had very few concise and very important points but covered each and every question that would appear in the exam. Like they were maximum about 3 pages for lengthy chapters and about half a page for small chapters. The second one is the most important one also, that is the previous year questions of NEET. At least 10 years of NEET previous year physics questions are mandatory. You need to solve them at least twice because you must be very thorough with them not to commit a mistake in them. And the third one is NCRT. The summary of NCRT is the most important part which is a must to be read. The formulas and the statements given in the summary are very important. They can come as a direct question in the exam. And the fourth one is my coaching institute module, which I solved at least once. And fifth one, coming to reference books, I solved HC Verma, not everything, but MCQ part I did. How many questions are you supposed to solve to score well in physics? Well, the answer lies actually in the fact that it doesn't matter how many thousand questions you have attempted and learned and solved. But what actually matters is that are you able to apply the knowledge, the small amount of knowledge that you have acquired in thousand more different questions? The best example for this, I would say, is kinematics. This is a topic that creates fear in us about physics in the initial days itself. Well, my physics teacher told that all the questions, maximum of them present in the module or anywhere else, are based on these very few formulas. This sounded surprising for me, but it actually turned out to be true. All the questions were based on these foundation formulas which can be mixed and applied in many different ways. Coming to the sixth point, don't force your brain to study physics or solve physics. If you're not in a mood to study or solve physics, just don't open physics at that point of time. I would suggest do solve physics when your concentration levels are at peak, like for example just after taking a nap or early in the morning just after waking up. Make sure that the time and efforts that you put are very productive and yielding the maximum results possible. This is my humble request to you all watching this video. Please don't sacrifice chemistry and biology for physics. If you allot more than the required time for physics either during your study preparation or during your exam times, this will drastically reduce your marks. As I would feel that bio and chemistry are relatively easier for many of you compared to physics, please do concentrate on chemistry and bio as well as you do for physics. If you give a lot of time for physics during your exams, you will get panicked and make many mistakes in chemistry and bio, which are going to hit very bad and the marks would drastically reduce. If you found my suggestions and points valid and helpful for your NEET preparation, do subscribe to my channel, like and share. Thank you so much.